Okay, so what is happening now? Just a quick record for myself. It seems I don't even know how to say this. I have my suspicions. There's a lot of doubts on my mind about things that it absolutely baffles me. There's a lot of predictive programming. Is they do it all targeted individuals. Well, mine at the moment is quite intense. It's basically from the moment you get up and you have like tea that you drink, coffee that you drink. This is followed by sort of like access to your vessel. Basically, I think your program while you are asleep, while you are sedated, you are programmed to be prone to certain things. It's almost like a domino effect. One thing lead to another, and I have been playing some frequencies, which is helping me a little bit, and I feel really bad about it because I'm thinking, well, it might deviate from my faith a little bit, and I do believe in God 100%. But when you are on a certain degree of attack, you basically use anything that to get some relief. I'm only human, but there is a guilt of that. I do feel really guilty about it. I can sleep on the bed because I believe the electronics that has been sent, the frequency that has been sent to me is the springs. I think it's to do with the springs on the bed. It's almost like energy has been sucked out of me. I get up in the morning, my legs are being attacked. It's sort of like to minimize my speed and the strength of my legs. My breathing is almost it's like this. It got radiated on my chest, and then my breathing is kind of like tightened, limited. It's almost like when you're trying to give somebody a heart attack or trying to harm them in some way. I feel I am under heavy suspicion. Also, there is a lot of I'm being used as a scapegoat. It's almost like anybody. Like those without souls. I feel they feeding off my energy. They kind of like they stealing energy. And I think this is done by a combination of those who practice witchcraft by using their mind to project people, to steal of people, and I think a lot of this has been done. I think a lot of thought has been coming to my mind, and I'm very mindful of people having come into my mind, and I'm thinking, wow, okay, it's a bit difficult to differentiate because you think, is this the AI? Sort of like divide and rule, create order out of chaos, because he's gonna reveal everything at the end. So I'm thinking, is this happening? Is this being things being put into my head, or is sort of like, is it really what is going on? Is my spirit kind of like warning me this is what is happening, be careful? And I'm very good at putting two and two together, but sometimes I do kind of like the whole thing baffled me. Determined to kill you, basically, but they want to do it in a way that they want to cause you an illness that is depriving you from going to the toilet, where you sort of like your body in itself just get so toxic that it kind of disease develop. I think this is one of the things they use on me, and I eat super healthy, and I mainly vegetables really, and I eat fish occasionally. Just to get some protein, and I like the taste of it anyway. Yeah, I'm a bit baffled with the people that are coming to my mind, because usually when these thoughts are persistent, it's right, as I know over the years, and sometimes I ignore them thinking, well, they can give you thought impulses, and you think, just to sort of like create conflict to make you paranoid. There is that element of it in there. But they do tell the truth. They tell you the truth because by law, spiritual laws, cosmic laws, they have to tell you what they're doing. And this is why they put all the codes in the films and in cartoons and things like that. If you know what you're looking for, they tell you. But if you don't know it, apparently it is your own stupidity. But which I think is highly unfair. You know, I don't know everything, and I don't think even those who torture us knows everything. So my waist, the back of my waist, is the right side today. It's been absolutely, it's like this massive needle has been injected in there. It's sort of like my tailbone is almost like this ringing, kind of like this, you know. I sleep on the floor a few nights back again, and it's almost like I think I levitated somehow, and I do not engage in any strange spiritual practice because I was asleep. I was sedated, but I know something happened in here. That day I went out and I thought just fresh air in. I'm thinking just leave your window open, and I think, yeah. And I try to dismiss a lot of things. I'm thinking to myself, don't be crazy. It's probably all in your mind. You haven't been slept. And I try to put that into great consideration. And the reason I kind of like come to conclusion that I have been levitated and there was some sort of an interference with my body, and is my negative iron bracelet that I got went missing. I had to buy another one. Yeah, marks on my body, my back. There was this, it used to be on my chest, where around my heart, between my breasts. Now it's kind of like on my upper back. There was sort of like this, it's like a spot. It's almost like I'm being implanted or something. I have been implanted several times, but I think this time again there was an interference. I know in my spirit that there is no doubt there is an interference, and I play some frequencies to sort of like get rid of whatever is around me. And yeah, I'm having a really tough time at the moment, and it's one of those things, being a target. You don't want to label yourself as a targeted individual, but it's just how these people torture you, and and once you feel a bit down, this is when their spirits elevated, because then they're feeding of your loosh, you know, they're feeding of your negative energy. And once you are in a positive space, they do everything to try and get you down, you know. And with the predictive programming is also hypnotic programming as well, what they do when you go to sleep. Now, you need to be in a sedative state to do this. And so this is that's what's mainly going. Yeah, and I'm breathing again. When I'm making this video, it's almost like my chest is being tightened. There was a rumor that there's a lot of things that I know I don't talk about, because I know there's an AI in this. You can't completely blame people, but my video has been circulated behind closed doors by people I trust and love. It's almost like stabbed me in the back, and my phone was registered with a number that was, they weren't telling me. They didn't tell me, but somebody's phone was registered with my phone account when I called the company. They have removed it now. Now I haven't put any number in there. They won't tell me which number this is. Now this person has access to my phone. My phone radiates a ridiculous amount of EMF. My computer, I'm being stopped from watching films. It's almost like this super control. I'm not allowed to watch sci-fi films, and I'm thinking that's completely ridiculous. My phone is is basically chopped off every time I start watching it, and I don't know what they're trying to hide, because I know what is in I watched that film before anyway. I know what it's all about. I know the codes on the film. Do you know? I'm just watching it for pure entertainment. I watch it a little bit. Yeah. So it's just the determination to completely damage my body and using me as a scapegoat. And at the moment, I think that this is what is happening. And sleep deprivation and putting you in a sedative state where they can access your mind and put in a lot of predictive programming, from what you're going to do in the morning to what you're going to do in the night. And then when you do, it's like a step-by-step thing. You think it's your own thoughts, your own behavior. You haven't slept for like months and months. Is what they put in your mind. And also there's an element of it where they stop you from dreaming, because when you are in a dream state, you are in the spiritual realm. They start to stop you from reaching the spiritual realm, keep you in this loop of repetitive nonsense. Really, you kind of like pull yourself together and trying to do something, they come onto you like a ton of bricks, and it's really hard at the moment. So I'm just trying to hang in there, So yeah, I haven't played some frequencies today because I feel a bit guilty, but they do help, and I don't want to be hypocritical about it. I don't want to sort of like make videos and tell people about God and then slack off, and because I see it as a slack off. But I'm absolutely desperate to get some sleep, and I play some frequencies, sort of like cut the EMF and radiation, and sort of like maybe tune the meridian points. And I know prayer in itself is a frequency, but what has been happening lately is my heart chakra has been targeted. Is when I pray, it's almost like the zeal is been sucked out of in there. I get filled with this wind. This is followed by, it's almost like a diminish. It's almost like a minimization of how I feel, what the zest you feel, the passion you feel for Christ and for God. It's almost like, yeah. So that is quite frustrating. So they are doing that now, and on my YouTube, on my phone, there's a lot of stupid recommendations about marriage and about to be famous and shit. Like, I don't care about anything. I don't want anything from you. Stop trying to arrange demonic marriages about some loser. I'm not interested. I just want to be left alone. I want to be able to sleep like a normal person. If I dream, it is my dream. You interfere in that anyway. The thing is, they want to give you dreams. They want everything you do to be from them. I started writing, and I started getting confidence in writing and writing poems, but they kind of like, there's a little interference with that as well, I feel, because I wanted to create a blog, and I went to GoDaddy and set up everything, made a payment, and I started building it on WordPress, and my account completely disappeared. And every time I tried to get in there, and it just nowhere to be seen. My domain, I cannot get it out. So that is sort of like the blog is mainly going to talk about reading the Bible and just basically discuss how I understand it. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I feel some chapters speak to me, like they scream out to me, and I want to discuss these chapters on, not explicitly related to mind control, but I related to maybe the current social system and things that we do that might deviate from the purpose of God and the will of God in the requirement of Christianity and stuff like that. I don't think that is a crime, and I don't think I should be stopped from doing that. But yeah, my computer is connected with, I don't know how many computers. I have like internet protection of 300 megabytes a day. Now this gets sucked out within, let's say, 15 minutes. I watch one video on YouTube, because they want to know what you are doing. I'm not very technically savvy. Well, not very. I'm not technically savvy at all. So my computer is being hacked into through my command prompt, and somebody logged in there, do what they want, and restrict what I watch. And yeah, I am not a child. You are not my mother. You're not my father. You're just somebody who just decided to harass me and torture me because I think you are afraid of me. And targeted individuals, I want to say that I think they are afraid of you, because if they are not afraid of you, I don't think anyone should go to the extent these people go to harass you, to torture you. I mean, you just want to get on with your life, but it's not about your physicality, it's about your spirit. You are much more than what you are in this physical realm. You are basically, you are the shit, for lack of a better word, okay? You are very, very, very important, and you pose a threat to them. If they can leave you to come to your full fruition, they won't let that happen. And this is one of the reason they do a sleep deprivation on you. And I believe also today I was so tired. I come in here and I lay down on the bed. It's almost like somebody hit me on my head. It's like somebody. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's almost like somebody clunk you on the head when you fall asleep and you start to go into creep into that dream realm, the real world, where you are. Somebody clunk you in the head, and there's pains on my back, and it's shut on my chest and my leg. I go running. I do like 5 miles. I run and brisk, and it interfere with my phone and change my bike thing to bike. Now I don't ride bikes. I run and I brisk. Yeah, so it's kind of like it mess up with how many steps I take, and then I was quite disappointed. So everything I do is been interfered with, and it's incredibly hard. I'm finding it incredibly, incredibly hard, because they accuse you of being lazy, they accuse you of being unproductive, and the moment you want to, they accuse you of things, and the moment you think, well, step up and do stuff, don't just focus on them, they get intervened. They get finding ways to sort of like target you and block you. There's a lot of blockages blocking me going on at the moment, but I have to keep faith. I shall rise above it. So the way I see it, I think these people are below me. To be honest, I'm not being arrogant. Like, one mustn't be prideful, because pride is what kicked Satan out of heaven. But I think they really are below me, because why would you go to this trouble? I think not in physical world, but I think in the spiritual realms they are way below me, and I think this is why they kind of like torturing me and getting their demons. And don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. They should be afraid of you, and they are afraid of you. I don't feel like showing my face into camera because my hair is pretty bad. I moved my extensions and I don't feel pretty at all. So yeah, and plus I feel a bit gloomy as well, which is they're absolutely loving it. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. May God bless and keep you. And I'll leave that for now, because I know I do go on a little bit. I don't want to sort of like keep going, especially when my face is not into camera. Alright, I hope you are all well and keeping yourself well, and hopefully I will make there's another thing I want to talk about with the occultic practices and how they entice you to get into it, like constructively through manipulation, and I will talk about that in my next video. And hopefully I will be a bit more sort of like in a better mood to present my face on a camera. Okay, good night, bye.